Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It's Friday, TGIF, March 7th. I know I'm exhausted. People in the room are exhausted. I'm sure most of you are. This is our weekly recap. If you want to join us, come over to smartoptiontrading.com. Click on live trading alerts. You'll get detailed analysis like this day in and day out, all throughout the day. And, trade with us in our live trading room where we focus on option flow, news, events, and whatever is in play. So let's talk about this week and what's going on in the last 2 weeks. And market is in the middle of a pullback or correction, depending upon what index you're looking at. On the S&P 500, we put the high in around 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. On 6/13/23, we came through the 3% pullback, 5% pullback, and today we blasted below the 200-day before reversing at 565.63 and heading up. We have a $4 gap to fill under 565.15. Just keep that in mind. Now, we do have a nice reversal candle here today. We've been in this big downtrend, and the market decided to bounce. Why? Why? Because it's tired. Powell came out and was a calming presence today. He talked very well in his interview, and he said what is really going on. He says, we cannot account for tariffs until we know what they are. And if you take all of the presidents back and forth for the last couple of months, there's only two tariffs that have gone into place and that are holding. China, 10% times twice, right? Everything else has been noise, it's been rhetoric, it's been constant. And unfortunately, that's the other problem. It's constant. We're headline driven. It's, all the time in your face, him or one of his cabinet members, and it's nonstop. And the market hates uncertainty and is tired of this. We're tired of it. So here's to hoping that maybe things just go quieter. If you're going to put them on, put them on. Get done with it. Let the market figure it out. Once the market knows it, it'll figure it out and go from there. All right. So anyway, we have this move off the lows and we'll see. We're going to do charts on Sunday. We're going to do a little differently. We're going to have an eye towards what looks good and looking at longer term this week. But we haven't retaken any levels. We held. Right now, all we're doing is holding here. We need to retake the 8-day at least to get any kind of momentum going back to the upside. Right? Volume has been elevated the last couple of weeks compared to where we were on the S&P 500. There's people in here. There's sellers in here. All right. What else? Let's talk the Qs. The Nasdaq came down 52-week, came in here into the 10% correction and has bounced back above it off the 480 level. So now we have a level to trade against there, still under the 200-day. The IWM been just all year long. I mean, this thing's been a correction all year long. Nothing to see there. The Dow holding in better, is not in a correction. And then we'll go to sectors. The XBI remains overall weak, but names like J&J and Merck and Pfizer are all stronger here with big dividend plays. The banks we talked about, if they came down, the market would come down. They finally capitulated late last week and this week. And you got them here kind of sitting there in a bad way. I mean, look at this trajectory. I mean, the one thing you keep looking at here is these charts look still pretty good, but the JP Morgan under the 200-day, that's not a good thing. Let's talk about the SMHs. The SMHs here, reversal today on the highs here look weak. Avgo, like NVDA, had a fabulous report. They sold it entirely off, but pushed it back up here. So bringing it back up almost to the pretty much into the highs into the open. We'll see. NVIDIA continues to get dumped. I have my area at 107, hit 107.56. I'll take that. Came down, touched that area. Now we'll see if we can rally to the 8-day and then get back above this uptrend that it lost. AMD still feels like a lost cause, and so maybe it'll break at the 100-day. But none of the semis other than Avgo are above the 200-day. That's telling. It's a very poor sector right now to trade. Help me out, guys. Costco got absolutely obliterated today. We haven't seen a candle like this in a while. They missed on EPS. They beat on revenue. They're cautious going forward. Consumer, same thing we heard from Walmart. They got beaten up today. It's a lot of worries over the consumer, and that continues to hold out there. That's part of the problem. Crypto held well, coin, MSTR, despite there's going to be no buying of cryptocurrencies and assets by the United States government. It's all going to be to create the crypto reserve. It's all going to be from seized assets. Let's talk big tech here. Microsoft put a range low in here and then bouncing up, but no power yet. Google's looked better than most. Again, 4 days in a row now trying to break and hold above the 8-day, slightly better. Amazon under the 200-day and just reclaimed it. Meta used to reclaim the 50-day but held the 100-day today after coming down. Apple has been the gold star going sideways. And then there's Tesla. So Tesla, I've been telling everybody my target down there is at 253 area. We came down to 259 today before we bounced. Is the selling over in Tesla? I don't know, but it would make sense here for it to slow down or stop. Your mountain trade is over. Here's your trade, right? This is earnings. We came down. Here's when all the stuff with the White House started, which had nothing to do with Tesla stock price, but we had this unbelievable run up to 488. And all the way down here, we basically came down today. We gave this entire move back. That does not mean Tesla's going to shoot up for the stars and go running back up again. It could come up. It has to clear the 8 and the 200 day, and it can consolidate here and go sideways for a while. If the market continues to sell, you have another gap sitting down here, and it could drop all the way down here to the 212 area. So, have to be careful with this yet. Netflix, which had been a shining star, finally capitulated this week, right? Looked great, came down, filled this gap. Look at this drop this week. Big drop here in the last 2 days. So the market has a lot of uncertainty. Markets hate uncertainty. So with that said, I hope you're all doing well. Members, if you need to chat, I make time for you guys if you want to talk. For me, this week has been a very tough week. I'm green. I'm green today, although I got myself in a lot of trouble this week and kept working my way out of it. And, took losses along the way. This was nothing easy about this week. And hopefully we get better, easier trading next week. Enjoy your weekend. I'll do some charts on Sunday. SmartOptionTrading.com, link in the description below, and I'll catch you guys in the room on Monday morning.